Hello and welcome back. Let's continue. So, in our last class, we checked out part three. Okay. So, in part three, we were able to. So this is part three. We were able to install npm install.env and created a .env file that will help us to hide our database connection, so that when we push this code to GitHub, somebody looking at our code repository repo in GitHub cannot see the username and password for our connection. So those are what we did. And after that, we created, modified our app.js to take care of that. Then we created some folders. We did make the routes, created the routes folder. You can see this is the routes folder. We also created the models folder. Okay. So inside routes, we had questions.js, whereas inside models, we have, okay, we've not created the file in the model. So like we say, model connects to the database, the route does the controlling, whereas the view is the React.js. So that's the MVC, model view controller that we're looking at, okay? So we're gonna continue now. Okay, when I finished, if you're following from the last class, when I finished, I tried to run this code and it gave error. It did not show me this connected to Tclass. So I tried to debug. So in case if you follow the last class and all of a sudden you're here and I did npm start and it's connecting. So I want to show you what I did. So what I did first was that this app.use user, because I've not created the user route yet. So those were what the things that were giving the error. So I had to comment it out. You can see I've commented it out here. Okay. And here also, this cons question equal to require question. I've not created this question model. So I commented it out as well. So once you do these two comments, you make these two comments out, you're going to have your connected to your Tclass DB. You're going to have your connection. Okay. So basically, what I'm going to be doing in this class is to, first of all, create these questions inside the models folder. You can see where I referenced it. Inside models, we have questions starting with capital letter. So this is going to contain the schema. So I'm going to create this. And once I do that, I'll then okay, once I do that, I will now create other routes here. This is just the post route if you want to post question. If you want, I mean the get routes to get to the CBT website, basic website to get a particular question. So I'm going to have things like delete. I'm going to have router.post, router.delete, and router.update in order to carry out the full what's it called, the full CRUD operation. So this is what I'm supposed to have. So if I go down now, this is the code for the new router code. So I'm supposed to have router.get that gets the question for me. So I'm supposed to also have router.post the question. Then I'm supposed to have router.get specific to get one question and delete a question to delete, and also update in order to update. So this is a full CRUD operation. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just, okay, I have here const express router, okay. So I'm going to pick up this code as it is here. But very importantly, we introduced some middlewares. We have now app.use course and app.use body parser. Body parser course is very important when you want to have a cross-origin migration. If you're having, let's say, if I'm hosting this site, I'm going to be hosting it in Heroku for the backend. So if I'm going to be hosting the front end on Netlify, in order for there to be communication, so that the React that I'm hosting on the Netlify to be able to connect with the backend REST API that I'm hosting in Heroku, you need cores. So I'm going to be able to install cores and body parser and reference them here as a middleware. Then I can then be able to use that. So before that, I will quickly get to, so let me npm install body parser first. So I'm going to Control C to stop this server. Okay, so I'm gonna do npm install body parser. So you can see the, okay, if you're still following this, let me get to where we stopped so that I don't confuse you. Okay, this is part 3, this is where we stopped. Okay, if I scroll down, this is where I made the routes. And this is my recent app.js. This is where I made my question model. Okay, let me create this question model first. So this is models. So I'm gonna seed into models, seed into models directory, models folder. Okay, so I'm in models now. You can see CBT models. So next thing I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna create these question.js. See, it's in capital letter. So to create that, simply say inside models folder and simply say touch question. It's not questions, just question, but yes. Okay, so you can see the file. Now, if I open my models now, I will now see question there. You can see it's question.js. So inside the question.js, that's where I have the schema that will connect to my database. And you can see it here. So I'm gonna simply pick out this code in order not to. So this schema is actually representing a table. It's actually a table that will be. So I'm gonna do Control X to save. So like I said, this code, I'm dropping it on our website, www.Tclassified.com. If you want to reproduce this, you can easily copy and use it. So look at what is happening here. So we brought in Mongoose. Like, you know, Mongoose is needed in order for us to connect to database. I will say const question schema, mongoose.schema. So we're having question test. Question test, it contains the text of the question. Let's say photosynthesis. Uh, let's say we have which of the following is the process by which green plants manufacture their food. So that would be the question test. Then under option, I have A, photosynthesis, B, symbiosis, C, this. So that will be under option, question options. Then under date is going to be date, the date that the question was created. So you have something like a table. So the headings of the table will be question text, question option, and date. So that's what we have here. So I'm gonna say Control S. And if you're having a question, it's gonna be type string. We all know require simply means that you must feed it in. If not, if you're posting, it will not work. So that's why require is true. But if you want to post it, you know you cannot create a new question and option without having a question test. So it has to be true. Even option, you cannot create a question and answer. It's a quiz that we are creating, a CBT. So options must be there too. But date might not be there, but you have, if you don't have the date, default dot now. So date dot now. So automatically, even if you don't put date, it will put in date for you. So that's what this stands for. So this type simply means the data type. So the data type here is string for both question and question test and question option. Okay. So when we do the React, you'll be able to see this physically and be able to appreciate it. Okay. So we've created the question schema. So what will be the next thing to do will be to okay, please make sure you have this model.export so that you can reference it from another file. If you don't do that, you'll not be able to reference this from another file. So I'll just copy it and put it. Say model.export. There's an error. Question schema. Okay. The error is in the code. So why should I don't need to have any code here. So that is where I have my error. So I'm going to save this. Quickly get back and remove this single code. You can see the error has gone. Okay, so what's the next thing to do now after creating the schema? We are using MVC, model view controller. Like the routing is taking care of the controller. Model is what we just did now, the database. The view is what we're going to be doing next week when we'll be using the React to create the front end of the work. So the next thing will be to use Postman to try this out. So this Postman, I don't want to bother us with this. So I'm going to fully finish the CRUD operation. Then I will now use Postman to test out the endpoint. So we're going to use Postman to, I've already installed Postman. If you don't, just Google Postman, get it installed in your system because we're going to use it to test out the endpoint before we start creating the front end. Okay, so the next thing I do now will be to, in order to enable Postman to run the request, and in order for this to communicate, I need a body parser. because we are going to be sending this in JSON format. So I can simply say npm install body parser. So to do that, I'm going to cd back into the main directory by saying cd space dot dot. Okay, so I'm there now. So I can say npm node package manager install for me body parser. Okay, I hope I got the spellings right. So npm install body parser. You can see, so I got it right. So like I said, body parser will enable you to pass the body of the JSON, because we are going to be working in JSON format. Okay, so I'm going to let this install. But what is installing? We'll get back so that we see. So this is how I would have tested this out in Postman. But like I said, I'm going to finish up the whole code. We're almost done. Then I will now go to Postman and do the testing when I'm done. Okay. So this is how we do the testing. So this is an example of a question test. Organisms that manufacture their own food, just like I said before, are called what? So you have question option A, autotrophs, B, symbionts, C, heterotrophs. So this is how it's going to come. Like this, our app is going to be super simple. Then after doing the very simple part of this, then we will now, all these options, they are supposed to be on their own field when we start doing the main one. But I just want to give us a very quick and simple CBT app. Then we're going to work on it to develop it to become more sophisticated. Okay, so this is part 6. Part 6 will be to run the MVC. But before that, this is the latest app.js. Okay, so let me compare this latest app.js. Now, taking into consideration the questions and other things that I've created, that's why we now have the app.js changed. So it's no longer what it was before. So this is the app.js we have now. So we're going to have Express app, Mongoose body parser now. So there's no body parser yet. So I'm going to quickly bring in body parser and also bring in cores. But I've not installed cores. So I need cores as well. So I'm going to do npm install cores, cross origin. So this is the command for that. You can see npm install cores. So to enable cross origin transfer of this information, okay, I'm going to say npm install cores. So I'm finishing up the REST API today. I'm gonna finish it up now. Maybe probably tomorrow I'll test it out in Postman. Okay, you can see that course is being installed. Okay, it's done installing. Okay, so let me move on. So now let me get my app.js updated. So this is what I need in my app.js now. So this is the initial app.js that I had without taking care of cores. So you can see I have Express, const app Express, Mongoose. I don't have body parser. I don't have cores. So those are the two I don't have. So I can simply pick the two because I just installed them. So I'm doing this for people that are just following me from step by step so that you don't miss out, okay? So you can see I've installed the two, but they've not been initialized. You can see that they are not having the green color, okay? So I'm gonna do that now. So this is how you bring them in as a middleware, app.use. So whenever you want to, middlewares are just like they are functions or codes that must run before other things starts happening. So these calls and body parser, they have to run before you can start making the route work well, okay? So I'm gonna pick this as it is here. So I'm gonna say copy, and I'm gonna put them here. Okay. So you can see now they are colored well now because I've used them here. I'm gonna say save. Okay. So what next should I do? Import the routes. Okay. This question route. So I'm gonna import the question route. Let me still check. So I have the question route here imported. Then I have app.use question. Then I have to bring in the question itself. Okay. So app.use question. Okay, so it's there now. So what else do I know? App.use question is the route. So I have this basic route that takes me to the site Tclassified.com CBT. Let me call it CBT, not blog, CBT. Yes. If I scroll down, do I have it? Do I have this basic route here? I don't. So let me quickly bring it in. Okay, so after the routes, we now have the connection to database. So I'm gonna bring it in here. Control S. Okay, so this is the basic route when you just go to localhost 3000. But once you start getting to the question route, then you have to use this. You can see the question route is brought in here. So the routing for the question is inside this file. You have to get to this question in order to see it. So the only route inside here is the main route, the route that leads to the localhost 3 for 3000 without any slash. Okay, so we have the mongoose.connect db process.m. This is normal. This is what we are using to connect. Okay, and we're listening at port 3000. So we have everything okay here. So from this end, this is perfect. So chapter part 7, which is the last part, which is the CRUD application. That is create. When we say CRUD, we mean create, retrieve, update, and delete. That's the full process of for a form. You can post in a new form. That's what we mean by create, retrieve. That's using get. So when you say router.post, you're talking about creating a new question. Router.get, you're retrieving the question that you have. Router.update, you're changing maybe the option. You feel the options selections are not right. You want to select good. Then router.delete or app.delete, you're deleting the question totally. So that is the CRUD operation. Very important. So I'm gonna now, okay. So this is my question.js now. So this is the latest question.js. So this one has both the middlewares. It has the questions. It has the, this is get back all question. You see router.get. You can see that I have just slash. So that's what it's going to be getting back all questions. So once I say localhost for 3000 slash questions, that's where it will lead me to. So I'll get all the questions, and that is what is expected. So if I want to post a question like I'm an admin and I'm posting questions that students need to answer, so I'll do it at this very, if I use the post command, but also at slash, I should get that. Then if I want to get a specific question, it has to be slash question with question ID. Okay. Then if I want to delete, it has to be router.delete, and I'm deleting at a specific question ID. So we're using the async because we are going to be having this going to be returning promises. So that's why we're using async and wait. And we're also using cat to catch any error that could arise from making such request. Okay, we also have update a question. So we use for update, you use .patch. So take note of the keywords that we're using here. Okay, so once you've done that, then that is okay. So I'm gonna just pick up this code. So this is a full CRUD operation. I'm gonna copy it. So under questions.js, that's where I'm gonna put this. So I'm gonna go to this. This is my questions.js. So I'm gonna just Control A to select or Control V to paste what I have now. I hope this is still okay. Okay, so we're having small error somewhere. I'm gonna go down and see where the error is. Okay. 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 Message router. Okay. No, don't do this. Maybe I'm not doing this. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay. Okay. I'm missing curly brackets in here. I think that's where my error is from. Okay. So that error has been taken care of. So that curly bracket I was missing there. Something here. Okay. So that has been taken care of. But still have one more. Let me check here. Okay, here. It's supposed to have curly brackets. So curly braces can give you a lot of issues. The model does export equal to router. I'm still having one or two errors. Mm, dot in, require dot in. Let's see. Another one more error. Model dot export equal to router. Why is that one giving me issue? Okay. Let's see. Transcribe dot equal to express dot route. Chorus equal to require chorus. Okay. Models dot okay. Export. Okay. Export router. Okay, let me check this. You might have been crossed model dot exports. Okay, I think I have it somewhere. Model.export report router. Model. What am I getting around this? Okay. Okay. So let me break this for now. Okay. So let me check out our questions dot model dot equals to model question dot question schema. Okay. So this is okay. So I'm gonna Ctrl S to save this. I'm gonna scroll up back. Check out my app.js. Okay, so this is about all the codes. I just put them together. So in subsequent class, what I'm gonna do is to do cleanup. So check out what we have. We have, I still have my questions reading error. Take notes. So what we have now is that we have inside my CBT folder, I have models folder and routes folder. Those are the two folders that I created. These node models normally come up when you start installing models. Okay. .m file is where I would put the connection. This is the connection string to my database, my MongoDB Atlas database. And this is the package our app.json. So being connected, we remove the routes. So it's now connected to our routes folder with the files inside, and it's listening at this port. We're using process.m.db connection to locate the connection from our .m/config, which we have in the .env file. Okay, this is our package.json that we got when we did our npm init. And you can see that this package.json has been growing. It now has these dependencies: body parser, cores, .env, express, mongoose, and nodemon. So all these are the models that we've installed in order to help this work to go fine. Okay. So in subsequent class, what I'm going to do, I'm going to debug these and use our Postman to test it. That's what we're going to do: debugging and testing with Postman. So we should be able to finish that up tomorrow, so that by next week, Monday, we are starting React. Yes, we are going to let the front end that we're going to build in React be able to communicate with this REST API that we built. So we're going to submit some sample questions using Postman to see whether we can actually talk to our database. So take note of this. Basically, MVC, we're having our models and our routes. So the V part of it, the V part of the MVC, which is the view, we're going to be doing that with React.js. So this is a very simple, top-notch, simple application for quiz application for CBT. Once we make it work and the React front end can talk to this back end, then we'll now start developing it more. These are model question model. Like I said, the question options, we are supposed to separate them. Option A, option B, option C, even pictures and the rest of the things. So we're going to develop this model question schema more in order to make it do what we want it to do for us. Okay. So if you have any questions and concerns, please drop them in the comment section. If you have, if you like our videos, always like them, share them so that your friends can see them. Thank you, and see you when I see you.
This one myself with no very solution.
Okay. So just paste it.
So shouldn't I enter it before I paste it?
Since it does not have no, I can just go to it. Which subject